Yo, 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 what's up, fellas? We're bringing you the 16th class, the Shield Lancer, man. Meta build. You guys are going to be excited about this class. Really fun class. Really awesome to play. Really fast map clears and rounding up the mobs with the taunt. And I'll show you here a build variant once we do this initial clear here. But what's happening on your screen is you see taunt going on, you see lance throws, you have parries, so you're 100% immune to all damage. For 2 seconds, you see the shield wall, shield spinning. And we have the meta, the introduction, the melee mercenary meta that you guys are going to see. And I'll be a lot more, I'll have a much better explanation on the Amazon video that took about 14 hours to make, and it's a 35-minute video when it comes out after this. So by the time you see this video, 2 days after this, Amazon will be coming out, and you'll get to understand exactly how the mercenary meta is insane for season 11. And I have reached out to the devs. Hopefully they do something for the Ranger next season that's just as viable. Don't get me wrong though, the Ranger, I've been talking about it all season long. It is very viable. It really comes down to you. I'm just mainly speaking about survivability. But anyways, the Lancer, you can see, makes quick work of this boss at 14 billion health. The damage is really high. Once he drops the lance, you pick it up and you get the buff Glory. That's 195% physical damage, and it allows you can pretty much keep it up 100% of the time, and it just shreds the boss. Also, with the weapon that we're using, we get an additional 30% dodge, 30% attack speed, and movement speed. It's just crazy. I'm going to show you here quickly a Uber Damien kill, and then we're going to do the build variant in Wormhole Clear. If you really want to try hard and be efficient to climb the leaderboards, that's something you definitely want to do. There is another efficient build out there that Tig has, which is really good as well. It does not deal as much damage as this build, but gameplay wise and efficiency and clear wise, it is better, it is faster. So reach out to him if you're curious about the build. But what happened here, if you see on the screen, I activated loadout 2, which is the Lancer set bonus, to allow to increase the taunt range as well as make the taunt able to go through walls, which is called provocation. And then once I pull everything in, you're going to see that I'm going to switch loadouts and go into my first loadout, which is my damage and meta loadout, and then DPS everything down. And that allows you, if you look at the map, just pulls everything in efficiently. And I have the tree here. So here I'm going to open my inventory, loadout 1, boom. Now I'm using my meta damaging build. This is how to play this game in this class to its fullest. You remember back in season 10, I did something similar on the white mage with the aura toggling when you zoned into the wormhole. Well, this is that similar meta play when it comes to the Lancer. Of course, in order to do this and pull this off, you need a ton of currency. You need multiple sets of gear. This is end gameplay. Alright, but if you want to be competitive, this is what you need to do with all classes. You need to find these niche strategies when you're going into the wormhole and put them to your advantage. One being the melee mercenary. And look at it, the whole map within seconds was all on top of us. And now here proceed to delete the mobs. This was a bad map to showcase because of the freezing ice that stuns you and locks you in place at all times. And so it's a pretty bad map to showcase, but I wanted to get this out of the way because it's already been another 8 hours of testing and putting things together for you guys, so I just wanted to get it out there. But the Lancer, really fun class, really amazing. Just so you guys understand, I did put together the damage return variant. I was up to 1600 plus damage return, and it does not work anymore. I know that was something back in season 8 and the other seasons, and I know they're doing something different for this season this time around. So don't waste any gear on damage return. It is good for like Inferno 5 and under, but for later wormhole pushing, it's not good at all. Do not waste your rubies and currency on going damage return. So you can see here on Gabriel, we're just pushing his face in. So if you look at my buff, I have 4 seconds, 3 seconds on Glory 2, and then I run over and pick up a Lance to maintain the 100% uptime buff on Glory for the 195% physical damage. I am going with a 7 attack speed breakpoint just to min-max the damage, and this, you know, yielded the most damage on the dummy and the most damage in the shortest amount of time. Again, I will say it, there is another efficient build out there that you can put together as well, stacking plus all talents, and it's really viable as well for the Lancer. But you can see here the clear times are pretty good, the boss kill times are pretty good, and he's a beast, man. He's a tank. You cannot mess with the Lancer. By far, this is an S tier class for group play. I mean, and wormholes and farming early on in the season, because he has huge survivability and dishes out massive damage. This is the damage test here with the meta setup. I believe we got 636 million on the dummy, and this was only like 1 or 2 attempts. You know, I'm sure if I kept practicing and kept rocking, it would have gotten more. And if I remember correctly, yeah, the neck wasn't even 115. So if you have the neck at 115, your damage would be more. But that is it. We're gonna get into the meta setup here, so you guys enjoy that, and we'll see you on the next one. Alright guys, let's get into the meta for the Lancer. So I chose Taunt on the action bar. This helps cut down time on wormhole clears drastically, as well as Lance Throw. This is just a filler DPS, wasn't really that high damage. Parry for survivability once we pull everything in. And then Shield Wall. This is your #1 damage and ability along with your auto attacks. For the gear, I went with Raven's Claw for the attack speed, crit rate, crit damage, and also 35% physical damage plus the all to all talents. I didn't even have this maxed out. Obviously, if you have it at 115, you'll do a lot more damage. All you need is 106 to get the +3 talents. Harlequin Crest, again for the physical. I should have had attack speed runes here for the breakpoint, but I'm already at 7, so I'm good. But you can swap out as you need it. If you have a good attack breakpoint that you want, you can go in for Ox runes for all strength, like I have here. It gives nice CDR as well as +3 to all talents. I chose Hello It's Me Steve, again for the 43% attack speed, 8% crit rate, 18% crit damage, and huge 18% CDR. For the weapon, I went with the Kogura Sumaru. This is huge survivability with the dodge, as well as the Kogura Sumaru rune word passive. It gives you 30% attack speed. I'm trying to pull it up here so I can read it off the list so I don't steer you guys wrong. But you get 20% dodge on the weapon. With the Kogura Sumaru, you get an additional 30% dodge when the buff goes up. So that's 50% dodge just from the weapon alone. Then 30% movement speed, 30% attack speed, and 30% physical damage. This weapon is really good for the Lancer. I also chose the Force Chest for the armor break. Physical one would be best in slot, obviously. Also went with the gloves, Assassin's Mitts for the crit rate, crit damage, as well as the attack speed. Went with the Warrior Belt for the 23% physical damage and attack speed. I chose the Dragon Steel Ring. I was pushing for that 7 attacks per second break speed on the Lancer, so I was able to do it with this. You can certainly use Demon Eye Ring. It's definitely a good ring. For the potion, I went with Elixir of Death to push the attack speed to 7 attack speeds per second. But you have, various options. Bottle of Sake are all good. On the boots, I went with the Assassin Boots for the attack speed as well, and also the 5,000 flat physical damage. Obviously, the Assassin Shadow Boots are all good. The follower, just like you guys will see on the Amazon, um, the melee mercenary is the meta mercenary for season 11. By the time you guys get to see this video, you'll realize why. The judge on this on the melee mercenary with a taunt ability, the highest the better, allows you to taunt the entire map. On top of the lancer together taunting as well, you clump up the entire map in a matter of seconds. The helm, I went with the Sky Crusader helm for survivability. Obviously, you can put Fem runes instead of Dow runes here for more survivability on your mercenary. I recommend that. The chest, the staple, elemental break. Try to get a level 21. And the shield shelter for Menden. This gives you a healing aura, which boosts your survivability when you have so many mobs on top of you. Very important. These are the relics. I was focusing attack speed, but also went with Templar Shield and Guardian to increase your survivability. Hero levels, I went 50 in Ancient Power, 50 in Gut Ripper, 50 in attack speed, and the rest into absolute strength all the way through. Mercenary, 30 in armor boost, 30 in health, 30 on symbiosis, 1 point here, and 1 point in every offensive tree here, all the way down to armor break. For the talents, I went with Glory. This synergizes with Lance Throw. You don't need to max this out. The damage is not worth it. The moment you throw one lance on the ground, you pick it up, you get 200% more damage, depending on how many +2 all talents you get. But right now I'm at 195. I also maxed out Defenseless. This is massive while you're attacking so fast on the target and stacking your physical debuff there. The damage just skyrockets with this. Also went with Flank, chance to attack to deal additional physical damage. So it goes really well with your physical damage on the Lancer, including your attack speed. And then I maxed out Spike Shield. This is by far the #1 damaging ability that you have on your character. Even though it scales with armor, which there is a pretty cool armor build out there. I know Tig uses it. It's really good. Very high survivability. It gives decent damage as well. But you don't need to stack armor to stack the damage on this. The damage on it alone is pretty good. And then 1 point, in shield wall obviously, so you can cast it. 1 point in damage reflect, not really that important. 1 point in taunt. You don't really need a point in debilitating shout because you're wearing the force. If you don't have the force, then put a point in this. And then 1 point in hone defenseless. So you got a nice damage reduction. And then 1 point in shield bash for extra free damage. Alright. And I put the rest in parry. Makes the champion negate any damage during parry, just to increase the duration to 2 seconds. This gives you some nice survivability and you're immune to all damage while this is up. And that's what we went with the talents. So, just to explain to you how this works, you throw the lance. They're right there on the ground. Pay attention to the buff at the bottom. You pick it up, you get Glory, 195% physical damage, which is this. So it's pretty massive. As you're running around attacking everything, and when you pick it up, the cooldown resets, so you can keep throwing it. And then you run your shield to block projectiles, but also deal damage back. And then parry to give you immunity, so you're unkillable. And then taunt just to round up the mobs. The video you've seen at the beginning, there was a regular clear, and then there was a try-hard clear, that I would call it. It's actually being meta really efficient. What you do is you set up your loadouts, which is really buggy in the game. Once you have your gear here, go to your loadouts, and you can save it to loadout 1. In order to save a secondary loadout for some reason in this season, it's bugged. What you need to do is you can drop all the gear on the ground, which I wouldn't recommend doing that. But put the gear that you have in the bank, and then equip your secondary gear. And then once the gear from your primary, so pretty much I swapped the weapon, chest, and the gloves, so you will put that in the bank, and then equip this, and then you save this loadout, and then you take it out of the bank again, and then you'll be able to swap between both loadouts with no issues. You cannot save a loadout currently with all the gear in your bag. You can only save one. So if you were to swap gear manually and then try to do a loadout save, it would just overwrite the other one. But hopefully you guys understood that. Save a loadout. Once that's saved, the slots that you're going to replace, put those slots in the bank, put on the new pieces of gear in those slots, and then save that loadout. And that's how you get a secondary loadout. So what you do is when you're about to zone into the wormhole, you equip your secondary loadout. We went with the Lancer set bonus here, so you could taunt everything, extend the range, and also taunt across walls. This helps round up the ads really efficiently, along with your melee mercenary also taunting. Once everything is grouped up, make sure you're away from the clump, and then press C to open up your inventory, Q, and then equip your number one loadout, which is your damage and loadout, and then you finish the rest of the rift like that. That's something you can do to min-max your time in the rift. I'm not a Lancer expert. Never played the Lancer except now, and I know Tig's the number one Lancer. He does a really good job at this and excels really well at cutting down the time. In addition, he also has a nice build. If you guys want to ever, want to reach out to him, he does have a good build. It doesn't do as much damage as this one, but it definitely has slightly faster clear times because of the toughness and what he's doing. Okay. But this is very good as well if you guys are able to get this throughout the season. And that is it for the Lancer, guys. Thank you very much, man, for all of your guys' support. I cannot tell you, you have to see the Amazon. It's going to be the last video I'm going to release, and it's going to blow your mind. I'm so happy with it. And you guys are going to see something really cool with it that I was able to discover during all the testing in this season. But thank you guys very much for all of your support. You guys stay grinding. Please don't forget to comment, like, and smash that subscribe button. Please check me out on Twitch and follow us there. Okay, I'm going to be playing World of Warcraft. Probably by the time you watch this video, I'll be deep into that game. I'll be raid leading. I'm a guild leader there as well. And we'll be enjoying that game and pushing for round first clears. If you guys play World of Warcraft and you like competitive raiding and you think you got what it takes to compete, and you want to have you want to be in a nice comfortable atmosphere where there's no toxicity, please hit me up on Discord. Hit me up on Discord. Hit me up on the stream. We're always recruiting. We always have open recruits. If you're a good player and you excel, look us up, man. We'll chat, we'll see what's going on, and maybe you can even join us. Anyways, until next time, guys, stay grinding in the game, stay grinding in real life, and roll deep. Woo!